Hi everyone, welcome back to WIP Wednesday. Today, because, well, St. Patrick's Day is this week, it kind of crept up on me. I got the nails, we're ready. I wanted to color this beautiful page. Now, this is called Clover. It is from Rena, but she is on Etsy as, I think it's Coloring Books 2020. Not totally sure on that. I'll leave a link to this image below. But it's really cute. It's perfect for St. Patrick's Day. Loads of clovers. The name fits perfectly. And I was going to use my Prismacolors, but then I thought, as I was going through my swatch book here, I was flipping through to get to my Prismas, and I fell on my Phoenix. And then I realized I haven't even reviewed these things yet. So, side note, need to do that. But to review them, I gotta color with them. That's how I roll. You guys know me. I'll put a review out 6 years later if I have to. But until I've used the pencil thoroughly enough, I'm not reviewing it. So, stage one, let's use it. So I was taking a look and I just opened onto this page and thought, look at all those greens. I mean, they have a whole box dedicated to greens. Like, literally. See? Woo! I already picked some out. These are gorgeous pencils. Packaging lovely. So I'll be using the green box and the yellow box today. I'm not going to go into too much about them because, well, that's what a review is for. But yeah, I picked out some colors and we're going to color some clovers. And we're going to see how these work. We've got plenty of clovers to practice on here. I've already sharpened them up. I can't really give you color names because there aren't any. Each pencil just has these intricate, gorgeous patterns. Let me zoom you in. Or not. There we go. Look at this artwork. So, I don't know. I've tried to decipher, and maybe someone has finally figured it out, but I'm assuming this is something in here is the name, color name, but I, however, just went through and wrote with a Sharpie so I could classify them. So I'm using 4 colors from the green box and 1 from the yellow box. Let me zoom you back out because we don't need to be in that close, do we? All right, so I've got my page printed on my usual 110-pound Nina cardstock. This is a smooth cardstock. If you like tooth to your pages, then do not use this. What's interesting is this color looks like it's supposed to be a darker lead. Let me double check. Did I screw up my order? What numbers? 36 and 37. No, 37's darker. It's just weird because the lead looked darker on that one. Whatever. All right. So anyway, I guess I'll start in this corner, and because I don't know if these smudgy or not. Okay, so happy Wednesday, everybody. As always, well, not always, but as of now, I'm recording these on Mondays just because I have my therapy appointments on Tuesday. And yes, therapy. I go to therapy. I've never been ashamed to say that. I feel it's, even if you don't have mental issues like I do, I think everyone should go to therapy at least, once a year, just to clear the air, talk to someone who's, because it's great having friends and family, but it's really good to go in, talk to a professional, someone who's neutral and biased, and just, you can vent, you can talk to them about anything, get their perspective on things you're going through. It's really cleansing. So I actually recommend it, and I even tell people, because they'll be like, well, I'm not depressed or anxious, I'm totally happy. I'm like, well, that's great. But try it. You'd be amazed just how much lighter you feel getting things off your chest that you didn't even know were there. So, wow, that was a really long tangent to explain why I film on a Monday, huh? 4 minutes in, sorry. But yeah, so my WIP Wednesdays are now always on a Monday. Wow, these lay down really nice. Really nice. Because yeah, I go to my therapy and then I always hit my chiropractor on the way home, because now that we live out in the middle of nowhere land where they're building a high school, I don't get it. Let's just build a high school where there's nothing out there. But yeah, since I live out here, things aren't close by, so I try to group things together, especially with the cost of gas. Holy shamoly. I spent $110 filling up my gas tank from a quarter tank. Like, and I used my discount because I have like a grocery card, you know, rewards points, which I'm pretty sure they're starting to like pull back on how much they actually give me in rewards, because I'm not seeing much of a savings these days. But yeah, I went to fill up my tank, and it was $110, and that was just 3/4 of tank. Now, I have a big gas tank. I drive a Denali, so it's not like I'm filling up a Honda Civic or something here. I've always known it's going to cost me a fortune, but normally it's like 70, you know, so that's one crazy leap. The other day, my husband wanted to borrow my car, and first of all, I laughed because I never let him drive my car. But second of all, I was like, are you nuts? Like, that one trip will take 1/4 of my tank. No. And then in my head, I was thinking, think of all the watercolors and pencils I could buy with that money. So I don't have a problem at all. But yeah, so gas is crazy right now. So I'm grouping my errands together. I'm glad I was able to circle back around to the original topic there and not just go off on a tangent as to why. But yeah, so I usually see my chiropractor, and I really, really need to keep up with going once a week, because I don't know, my neck, there's this one spot. Here, she'll be my demonstration. There's this one spot like right here on the back of my neck that keeps popping out. And like you can feel it. Like I can literally feel it with my hand right now, and it's out. And it's so obnoxious. And it's painful. And yeah, and it usually pops back out a day or two before it's been a week since I've gone. And it's just like, I'm hoping in a few visits, like they'll be able to just like permanently get it in there. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to go physical therapy, and I really don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm liking this color, but I need it a little darker. So I'm actually gonna let's grab 38. So clovers are really not dark. I looked at a bunch of reference photos. They're not like super dark colors. Is this 38? Yeah. But I just want the shading where these little leaves are overlapping, you know, to really be pronounced. Oh, and I hear Scout the Husky whining to come back in, so let me go pause and grab her. Okay, well, now that I am out of breath running down the stairs and running back up, so when 2022 started, like most people, I had the goal of getting in shape. And I would say I failed that about 2 days in to January. However, we are working now that the basement is finished. We're working on stocking our home gym. And, you know, once you actually like invest in a home gym, you kind of feel obligated to work out. So the first piece of equipment we got was a rowing machine. And it actually came a few days ago. And I mean, as you guys know, I've been getting over pneumonia, so it's not like I can go do anything hardcore, but excuse me. My lungs are feeling better, at least enough to start, you know, moving around. And so my husband finally set up the rowing machine last night. And I could have totally done it myself, but you know, got to make the man do something. So he got it set up. And I have always wanted a rowing machine because it is like a full body workout, cardio, strength training. Rowing machines are not easy workout machines. I know it looks easy. I've watched people use them and I'm like, psh, that's not hard. I mean, you just row back. No, it hurts. It hurts. So last night when he had set it up, I just jumped on just to try it out. And he put it on the highest tension. He's a firefighter, okay? He's all fit and in shape. I am not. I sit in color for a hobby, okay? I'm not in shape right now. And so yeah, he gets on there, and even he though on the highest tension, he did it for like 5 minutes, and he was like, oh, ooh. So I did it on the lowest tension. Yeah, the lowest. And I was just testing around last night, and I was only doing like maybe 2 minutes, but I could already feel it like in my back. Not as in I strained my back, but like back muscles. So, if you pull your arms straight back and like you squeeze your shoulders back there, those muscles, well, that's what you're doing on a rowing machine. That's one of the muscles you're working, by the way. You're working like a ton. But yeah, after just 2 minutes, I got off and I could feel those, my arms, my legs, my booty, everything was a feeling it. And that was 2 minutes, okay? So 1, I'm really out of shape. 2, oh my gosh. So my goal waking up on Monday was I was going to do for this entire week 5 minutes a day. And I know you're thinking 5 minutes, that's not very much, but it is on a rowing machine. I can tell you right now, 5 minutes is quite the feat on a rowing machine. So yeah, 5 minutes a day at the tension where you can move quickly and comfortably. You actually don't want to strain, because the whole point, it's all about the speed and the motion. You know what I mean? And rowing machine workouts are great for those who are impatient, because you could literally do a 10-minute hardcore workout and burn some serious calories. It's a full body, it's a full body muscle killer. So I hopped on there this morning right after I got the girls on the bus. And I was like, all right, I'm going to do this 5 minutes a day. I got this. Oh my gosh, 3 minutes in, I was just like, oh, and I wasn't wheezing or anything from my pneumonia. I was out of breath from being out of shape. But yeah, I did the full 5 minutes. I wrote down my number of rows, because that's something I want to track, because that shows me when, I'm starting to get easier and easier. But it took me a minute to even get out of the machine. And even when I did, my legs were all jello-y. My biceps were just non-existent. They weren't even like moving. I was just floppy fish. And then worst part is our home gym is in the basement, right? And I had to walk back upstairs to get back to work. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, Scout, carry me. So I made my way up the stairs, which was really hard because my legs were pretty much jello. Sat down at my desk, did a little work, and the whole time I was sitting there like, okay, I gotta go film WIP Wednesday. Okay, I gotta go film it, but I can't move. And so I sent my husband a text, and I was like, oh my gosh, 5 minutes is just, oh. I'm telling you, if you have a gym membership, go get on that rowing machine and go, you gotta be like hardcore about it. Like picture yourself out on the water rowing and like Olympic level, like you're ready to row and beat like whatever country you want to beat today, kind of thing. And yeah, and then you hop off and tell me how that feels. Those things are brutal. And I was really excited to get one because our basement contractor, who's very, very fit, he literally every morning he gets on his rowing machine for 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how much time he has, and he just rows like crazy. And that's literally all he does, other than his work, of course, building or construction obviously helps with the whole staying in shape, but he was like, no, it's the best workout ever because it's cardio, it's strength training. And he's like, it's brutal though. Like, you can't go for very long. And yeah, he is not kidding. But so yeah, that is what I will be doing. I'm hoping to get back in shape. Man, COVID, I think this applies to a lot of us, right? COVID really, really killed my fitness. I actually used to be very, very fit. I was really into fitness. I worked out daily. I did all those HIIT workouts, which I actually really hate. I'm not a high intensity gal. I actually prefer yoga and bar workouts. But I did those. I would go walk in every day. I would do a minimum of 20,000 steps on my Fitbit. Minimum. Like, that was my, minimum goal. And then I would also do, stairs, because every house we buy always has freaking stairs. I would run up and down my staircases, and I would always aim for 30 flights of stairs a day. And that's an actually really good way to burn some calories, by the way. Just if you have stairs at home, run those bad boys. I would run to the top, do like some squats, run down, do push-ups at the bottom, because you can actually use your stairs to kind of support you. Yeah, I used to be hardcore, but I looked good. I was really in shape. And then COVID hit, and I'm a stress eater, and I stress eat ice cream and brownies and chocolate chip cookies with salt sprinkled on top. I got a weakness. So I indulged for like a year for sure, the first year of COVID, and then just kept on with the indulgement and just kept blaming COVID. I mean, technically I could still blame COVID now. I mean, it's still affecting us all. So I've got about 2.5 years of weight to shed. I'll admit it, I'll be open with you guys. I am about, I weigh 155 pounds. That's what I weighed the other day. And I don't go solely off weight, because weight isn't always a factor. That said, I used to be 120 pounds. I'm a short human. I am 5'1", 5'1 3/4", so I often round it up to 5'2" just to feel better, but I'm a short gal. So 155 pounds on me is a lot. And well, I went from wearing size like 1 pants to, I don't even know what I'm in now, because I wear things that are stretchy, but like my gym clothes used to be small sized yoga pants, and now I have to wear large. Like I've gained a lot of weight, and it shows. And so yeah, when you gain a lot of weight, you do get pretty depressed about it. You look in the mirror and you're just like, oh, can't, it almost just kind of makes you give up, or at least me, and I'm just thinking it's gonna, because you always hear those saying it takes just as long takes longer to take it off than put it on. And so then you're like, well, if I spent like 2.5 years putting it on, so I've got like 5 years to go. I know that's not true, but you know what I mean? Like the theory behind it is pretty rough. It's a tough pill to swallow. So, I mean, would I like to be 120 pounds again? Yeah, but also back in the day when I was working out, I would actually gain weight, but I kept losing inches, and it was just because I was getting more and more muscular. So at one point I was up into the 130s, but I was wearing, like, my measurements were a lot smaller. But yeah, I was very fit. Like, you could tell me to go run 40 flights of stairs and I would hate it, because I hate cardio. Cardio makes me gag. But I would do it and just, be like, all right, done. I used to take my Scout for walks because, Huskies need 2 hours of exercise a day. That is not a joke, by the way. They literally need 2 hours of heavy exercise. And I would take her for a walk with my daughter in her stroller, and we would just walk for a long time. And I definitely want to get back to that point. And just, I'd just be happy if I could lose a couple of inches and be healthy. That's my big thing, because sometimes I feel awful that like my kids just see me being lazy, and and a lot of times the activities they want, I don't have the physical energy to do it, but that's because I don't work out. And I don't have any health conditions holding me back. Like, the only excuse is my laziness. For me, please, by the way, no one take this conversation personally. This is all about me. Everyone has their reasons they can't work out, don't work out, or do work out for that matter. I mean, so again, please, no one take this as anything other than me talking about me. Okay, I just want to throw that out there, because I don't want anyone to be like, well, I have this and that's why I can't work out. I don't want anyone to think that. When I'm talking about the excuses made, these are excuses I make in my own head. I never judge anyone for anything, because who am I to judge, to be honest? I mixed those up again, I think. But yeah, so for me, I just know I always have an excuse, and I for my kids, it's just like I don't have any physical ailments holding me back. I do have mental health ailments, though. I have crippling anxiety, and that is a legitimate thing that can hold you back from becoming physically healthy, because you are just so mentally taxed that you cannot do much else. And that is something I'm working through, which is why I'm, going to therapy now, because self-management has not gotten me very far, clearly, as I binge a whole thing of Talenti. But you know what? Darn it, Talenti should not make those gelato layer cookie crumble things. They are so good. I think I talked about it on my stream the other day, because I'm so obsessed with those. In fact, in the comments below, if you like the Talenti, tell me your favorite layered one. Not just the regular gelato. I'm talking about those layered gelatos that are just, perfect. Because I love crunchy. I love texture in my ice cream. Oh my gosh. Can I eat ice cream for breakfast today? Would anyone judge me? I did a workout. That's exactly the wrong way to think, but whatever. No, so my favorite is the mint, I've come to realize, because it just has the perfect balance. My only complaint is I hate the little cookie crumbles at the way bottom, because they're straight up soggy by the time you get to those. But the mint I like, because I'm not a fan of their vanilla gelato. And so any of the ones that have that vanilla gelato layer at the bottom, I'm just like, oh. But now I'm craving one. I ate my last mint one last night, so I have their salted caramel truffle one just hanging out in the freezer. But I've told myself that I can only have one Talenti a week, and I'll admit it to you guys, I will eat an entire little pint or whatever it is in one sitting. I absolutely crack up that it says 3 servings. I mean, I'm not gonna follow it. I'm well aware of my faults. I'm gonna eat the whole thing. Okay? So, one a week, because one a week will not offset all the work I've done. And then I can enjoy my indulgement. And yeah, because that's what food's about. I absolutely disagree with the whole cut out everything you love, because then no one can stick to that. At the same time, I don't think everyone should have like a major cheat day where you like eat 5 burgers and 5 Talentis or something, But like, if I want to eat a whole pint of Talenti on a Saturday night, or I choose Monday as my one day because I hate Mondays, then I'm gonna do it. and I'm not going to feel bad about it. Even my husband gave me a look because I was just scarfing that one down the other day, and I'm like, look, man, leave me be. Choose your words wisely. But so yeah, that's me for my personal side of life lately. I'm just trying to get back in shape, 3 months into 2022, even though I started 2022 off like, I'm totally gonna do this now. It took me a while. But summer is coming up, and I want to be able to have the energy to do all the things. So let's see. How is house life? The kids are driving me bonkers because of sports. Like, we have opened a can of worms when it comes to sports here in my house. How to even begin? All right, so those of you who watch every week will know what I'm talking about, but those of you who may have caught this as your first video on my channel, it might be a little confusing at first, but oh, speaking of which, if you guys don't mind, if you haven't already, please do hit that like button. Not only does that help me know that you guys are enjoying WIP Wednesdays, but it actually helps my channel. It helps more people see my content, which helps my channel grow, and just keeps me plugging along. It's a motivator. But so a lot of you who have followed me for a little bit know that I gave my son a choice of picking a sport and just deciding what he wants to do sport-wise. Well, he quit baseball and decided he was going to focus on martial arts. That was like a couple weeks ago or yesterday. I don't know. It feels like it was. Well, then he wanted to try out for the baseball team at the junior high, which was incredibly frustrating because I was like, I thought we just decided we were quitting baseball, but okay, whatever. Let's do that. He ended up not trying out because he got himself in trouble, and that's not something I need to go into, but let's just say teenage mood swings and attitudes contributed to that. But he wasn't actually bummed he didn't get to try out, which just told me he really didn't want to do it. Now, he is going to do rec baseball this summer simply because we had bought him all that gear and I want to see it used. So he's doing it for me, basically. But he decided he was going to do martial arts, and he got into advanced sparring, and he's doing great. I mean, his form is great. They want him on the tournament team. And then out of nowhere, he's like, I don't want to go. It takes up too much of my time. I was like, oh, for Pete's sake. Teenagers, man. And it's true. He right now goes Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And the Friday class is 3 hours long. And so he can't do anything with friends on Fridays. It's shot. And I get it. As a teenager, that's just straight devastation to your social life. But at the same time, I'm paying for it, so your butt is going, is where that goes. But he just told me, he's like, the more I think about it, I don't want to do taekwondo anymore. Like, I really enjoy it. It's just, I don't want to be doing tournaments, and, I don't want to go 3 days a week. Like, I want to be able to hang out with friends, and I get that. Now, hanging out with friends is never an excuse in our house to quit a sport. But if you're not passionate about the sport, that's a little different. And he just said he really likes martial arts and he would love to do it in the winter, like during the off season of stuff. So I have to figure out how to cancel that now because we just got him all signed up for these advanced classes and the tournament team. So he basically wants to use that as a filler in between seasons. And I'm like, well, then what the heck sport or what season are we going to do? Because he's not going to do baseball for school. He's going to just do it for rec. I'm honestly bummed about the baseball, as a lot of you know, because he's an amazing baseball player, but he's not passionate about it. And he's just never going to get further in life in baseball if he doesn't love it. But I still keep hoping he's like, never mind, I want to do baseball. But instead, so he tells me he wants to try out for the track team at school. And I was like, okay, that is like a total, like, where did that come from? Because you have never shown interest in track. I've never even seen you jog. He is a fast runner. I mean, I've seen him run in baseball. That kid can run. But, I mean, he is a center fielder and in baseball. Like, the kid can run. He's got speed. But I've never seen him in a track environment is what I'm going with. And then I love my son to death, but he's like, I want to do hurdles. And even my husband laughed because he is an amazing kid, but he is kind of clumsy. And we just both could not picture him doing hurdles. And by the way, I'm not laughing at my son. I love my son. It's just one of those things where, you know, your kids pick a sport and you're just like, okay. Yeah, you don't say it to their face, but in your head you're like, okay, yeah, let's see how that happens. But unfortunately he missed the mandatory meeting, so he couldn't try out for track. So I was like, okay, well, there goes that. So now what are we on? And so soccer season was starting up, and oh my gosh, you guys, do you remember soccer season last fall? Do you remember the trauma? I do. Those of you who are new to the channel, or you weren't here in last fall, both my kids were in soccer. My son was doing it as a filler sport, just waiting for the baseball season. My daughter was doing it because she actually likes soccer. Well, her coach was not good, and basically her team was left without a coach, and so I kind of got roped into coaching a bunch of 8 and 9-year-old girls. Like, I don't even need to explain why that is stressful. I think you can understand if you have ever had an 8 or 9-year-old girl child. Oh my gosh, it was a nightmare. So soccer season is coming up for this spring, and my daughter is not returning because she has decided she doesn't like soccer. Oh my gosh. But I'm fine with that because that means I don't have to coach. I don't know anything about soccer. I just know this is your goal. You don't let the ball get into it. This is their goal. The ball should go into it. That's like my knowledge of soccer. Okay? I don't even know the positions. I had to actually have a friend of the family come and tell me what the freak the positions were. I'm like, what does this guy do? What does this guy do? So she's not doing soccer, but my son was on the spring team because, again, that was originally supposed to be a filler until baseball started. And so when the season or the practices started, the season doesn't start till April, I had told his coach, hey, he won't be back because he's now doing taekwondo and, you know, he had to pick a sport. So his coach was like, okay, no problem. It's a real bummer though, because, you know, he's a great soccer player, which he is, honestly. Like, when we went to his games, this kid hasn't played soccer since he was younger. He's been doing baseball and stuff, and I was impressed. Like, I was just like, wow, okay. And like I said, he is a runner. He does have great speed, but he actually had really good ball control to top it off. And he was vicious. Like, that kid was all up in there, like, did not care, taking on kids like that had a foot on him and just stealing the ball. So I was impressed, and his coach said that, and I was like, yeah, I know, I'm so sorry. And there's a huge wait list of kids that are waiting to get into the league. So I figured they filled his slot with someone. Well, then my son tells me he doesn't want to do taekwondo. He wants to do baseball in the rec league because he still loves baseball. It's just not something he wants to focus on. But what he wants to focus on is soccer. Yeah, I about fainted at that point. So I was like, dude, we already gave up your slot. I was like, okay, I will message your coach. He had a great coach, and I'll see what they say. And I was like, you know, if you can finish out spring, good, but then we got to get you on a comp team. There's no teams in junior high for soccer, but soccer is a very big sport in Utah. Very big because, you know, it's one of those brutal sports that you play, you know, regardless of the weather. And it's a big one. And they do have soccer teams in high school. And then you just basically do comp up till high school. And I was like, well, if you're going to do that, we got to get you on a comp team this fall. So I texted his coach, and his coach had not told the league yet that he was not returning, so his spot was there. And so I was like, okay, well, then we will be there. And in fact, his first practice, well, he missed the first one, so he's going to the second practice on Wednesday. So he is now doing soccer, for Pete's sake. That was like bouncing back and forth. And I mean, I have spent so much money on taekwondo, baseball. Oh my gosh. I am like, so he's stressing me out. But then to boot, my 9-year-old, soon to be 10, decides to tell me that she hates gymnastics because she's in gymnastics right now. Now, again, she's not going back to soccer, but that's okay because that definitely was just not a sport for her. But she's been doing gymnastics. Well, she decided she hates gymnastics. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm a former gymnast and I did springboard diving. Gymnastics is not a sport that you can be in if you are not fearless. Like if your coach says, hey, I want to see you do a backflip on this 4-inch beam, you do a backflip on that 4-inch beam, knowing all too well that you're probably going to eat it, okay? So, but you got to do it. And she's just not fearless. I see it in her every time we go. Like she's too scared to walk to the end of the beam and fall, and she's on beginner level. And I don't tell her this, of course, but I mean, like I said, I have shot knees from years of gymnastics. I broke loads of bones in gymnastics. Loads. I pulled muscles, and I had a very hardcore coach that was like, I don't really care if you have a broken bone. You're still showing up to practice and you can stretch. You don't need to use that bone. So yeah, like my daughter's just not built for the hardcoreness of gymnastics, especially if she's too scared to just walk on the beam. And we've been trying. I actually bought a balance beam for my house. I have a balance beam in my basement, and she doesn't go down there and use it. And I bought it. It's not regulation tall. And the reason I did that is because if she wanted to use it, say she got into more advanced, she wouldn't be able to flip on it without nailing my ceiling. So it's a regulation beam, like league regulation, but it's instead of the regular height, it's only about 2 feet off the ground. But you can do plenty with that. You just can't practice your dismounts, obviously. So I bought that, and she's scared on it, and she's just doing the basics. So she told me she wanted to quit gymnastics. I was just like, ugh, okay. Well, then you need to pick a sport. And so she's really good at softball, like really good. And what's even more impressive, she had never played softball before, but she played last season. And she just blew us all away because she's just this tiny, skinny, cute little thing. And she was really good as a catcher. She's fearless. Like, she doesn't jump away from the plate. Like, she's on that plate. Like, I don't care that this chick's like, you know, got 20 pounds on me. I'm standing here. Like, she's been hit in the head. She even got heat stroke in one of the games. Threw up. TMI. I know. Sorry. And then she went back and played. Like, her coach totally was like, no, go sit on the bench and relax. She's like, no, I want to go out there and play. Things I've never seen this kid do. Because, I mean, she literally is the type that after gymnastics thinks she sprained her ankle and wears an ankle wrap for like 3 weeks. It's driving me bonkers. I'm like, your ankle is fine. So she doesn't want to do softball because she thinks she's not good at it. And I kept telling her, I'm like, you are great at it. You've never played this sport, and you did amazing for someone who's brand new to it. So we unfortunately had to do the whole tough luck, we're signing you up and you're doing softball because she's a little too young, whereas my son's older. He's tried a bunch of sports. He can pick his way, although if he changes sports again, I'm probably gonna lose it. But uh, she's too young. However, I agree with the whole gymnastics. So I was like, okay, that one we can drop. But you're doing softball this summer. Sorry. So we're going to put her in that and while she debates on what she wants to do. Then on top of it all, my 6-year-old, she wants to do sports. And that's one reason I've been telling my older kids, like, you guys got to pick a direction and let's focus our energy, my money, and my time there. Because like with my son in Taekwondo, we were paying a lot every month. And then on top of it, driving him there 3 days a week, that left no time for anything else. And I mean, we're talking my time, gas mileage time, the kids' schedules, we'd have to rush home and get homework done. And it's chaos. And my husband is on duty a lot. So I'm like a single mom pulling this all off. And that's why I finally said, guys, you got to pick a focus. And we've got to focus on something. So I'm kind of relieved that he doesn't want to do the Taekwondo because that frees up 3 evenings, because now soccer is just 1 day a week practice, games on Saturday. Yes. Softball and baseball, however, when that starts in the summer, is going to be crazy, because last year it was Monday, Wednesday for my son, Tuesday, Thursday for my daughter, and then they both had practices on Saturdays at different times. So yeah, that part will be a little blah. But my 6-year-old wants to get into sports. And so I told the kids, like, you guys got to cut back, because your sister needs to fit into this slot somewhere. And she really wants to do dance. She wants to be a ballerina. And oh my gosh, she will look adorable in a tutu. So I am trying to find a dance studio nearby and then just try it out for her and see how she does. She actually wants to do like dance, like choreographer dance and like jazz type. I don't want to call it jazz dance, but like she wants to be like a professional dancer you see like in the background performing on stage and stuff. But to do that, you got to start with the whole ballet thing. So that's what she's doing. But yeah, so I'm working on finding that. But I am just so sick of all this back and forth with sports. So sick. I will be just so giddy when everyone has picked their sport and they're done flip-flopping, and I don't know. I'm debating, honestly, on going on a week's vacation and leaving my husband to deal with all this. Because he doesn't deal with it. He's on duty. But I'm like, I'm really tempted to just leave for a week and just let you enjoy. And you can see why your wife is bonkers by the time you get home. All right. Well, if you have made it almost 40 minutes into my rant about sports, sorry about that. Let's talk channel. So, if you have seen my community tab, please do check my community tab frequently. I actually post quite a bit on there, and the reason I want you to check it is because I do a lot of polls, and polls are really important. It kind of lets me know, what you guys are looking for. It helps you actually dictate the direction of my channel too. And then also I have sometimes just some curiosity. So, but also the other reason you really want to check my community tab is the 7,000 subscriber giveaway is going to pop up there very soon. Like I had mentioned before, I'm not going to be doing videos. They may be hidden in videos here and there, but it's not going to be like, hey, this is my 7,000 subscriber giveaway video. They're actually going to pop up in my community tab. And I just feel that's easier for me, for one. And it's easier for just, you know, sneaking in some giveaways. But also, you will be noticing a lot more giveaways in streams. And that's because, you know, it's like we're all there hanging out, interacting. But it's kind of fun to have just little fun giveaways. Nothing major. Yesterday's stream, the winner got to pick a small set of the pencils I was swatching for the watercolor battles. Oh my gosh, I have so many to swatch, you guys. Does anyone want to swatch them for me? I am like, I just received 3 other sets from Amazon yesterday. The other 3 are coming today. I still have, I don't even know how many I have that were already here. And then to boot, I did put in the community tab, which is why I'm asking you to go there. There's a couple budget ones I'm on the fence about whether or not to include. I just need to know if there's a big enough demand for seeing the performance of those before I buy them, because they come in very large sets, not small ones. And again, this is all from my own money, so I'm trying to prioritize where to invest funds from this channel. So definitely go take a look there, because I have a few that I'm on the fence about. And then keep an eye out for the 7,000 subscriber giveaway that will be popping up in there. And for those of you watching right now, I'm actually going to be giving away some handmade watercolors. I have spoken to one of my favorite handmade watercolor creators. I only discovered her a month or so ago. It's this lovely lady here. Designs by Rachel Beth. First of all, she is the sweetest woman ever. I want to just throw that out there. But also, her paints are, oh my gosh, I love it. I love how she does it. So she just makes small batch specialty ones that, oh, I love the clove oil. I just opened this and I can already smell it. So she makes small batches. So like once they're there, if you don't snag them, they're gone. She will bring them back from time to time, but amazing paints. These paints, let's see, I just bought another 3 sets, so I'm up to 6 of her sets already. And I am just blown away every time. They are soft, they re-wet, they're smooth, and they're not all glittery. I know a lot of people think that handmade watercolors are always glitter and sparkle. She does a ton that aren't. And talented. I love her paints. And again, the smell is just, oh, it's therapeutic is what it is. So I will be giving away 1 set from the lovely Rachel. And then I will also be doing a few other things. So it's kind of going to be a thing throughout the month. So I'm going to kind of like in the community tab, you know, showcase one of the items that will be up for grabs. And there will be the form as usual. I always have a form to fill out. And if you've already filled out the form, you know, don't worry, it will be the same form, so you don't have to fill it out twice. And then at the end of the month, I will be picking the winners of all the prizes for the 7,000 subscriber giveaway. So some will be in the community tab, some will be in videos. It'll kind of be all over, but again, if they're in videos, it's not going to be in the title. I want to make it clear that it is, you know, I just don't want people to come watch the videos simply for the giveaway. I really want those who come to my channel to watch me get these prizes. And I definitely want to avoid anyone subscribing simply to enter into a giveaway. So that's my goal, and that's why I'm changing it up, and we'll see how it goes this round. But also, like I had mentioned a long ways back, I'm doing giveaways more frequently and just kind of like throughout for random things, just like I did during my live stream yesterday. Just a random giveaway. You never know when they'll be there. Fun little surprise. All right, let's see. We're looking good. But yeah, the other reason I brought up the community tab is I did put a poll out, and I would really love it if you guys would go vote. So I really love watercolors. I really do, and I'm really getting back into it. I have back in the day, I used to do a lot of watercolor. I used to do a lot of mandala drawings, which is why I'm back to doing mandalas. And if you're a member of my channel, don't forget to go get your free mandala. There's one at the first of the month, and then at the 15th, on the 15th, the higher tiers get their second free mandala. So I'm doing those. I'll actually start posting them on my Etsy soon when I have a good bundle. But I also want to bring watercolor art into my channel. And by that, I mean legit watercolor art. I want to start doing watercolor tutorials, drills, and just paintings. I'll even use budget brand paints. I'm not going to break out my Schminke and say that you have to use Schminke. Occasionally I'll use the Schminke, but that's just for fun. But I did put a post out to see how many of you would be interested, because my YouTube channel has always been adult coloring and art. It's just I've been kind of lazy on the and art portion, but I really want to get back into that, Does that mean I'm not going to do adult coloring? No. I mean, look, I'm doing this right now. Not by any means. But it's kind of like, I really want to branch out and show all those fun skills and all those watercolor palettes I've been collecting and teach you guys new things. And you can use them in your adult coloring. Even if I'm using it on a sketchbook, hey, go do it in a page. Like, I'm teaching you a technique that doesn't have to just be done on watercolor paper. So yeah, I would really love to hear your opinion, because I'm on the fence as to whether I should make a new channel for that side. And I would really love it if I could keep it all in one place, because this is kind of my home. This is my baby. So yeah, I would love it if you would all go vote on that. It would mean a lot to me. If you can't find it, then just leave your comment below what you think about that and your interest and whatnot. And yeah, just always keep an eye on my community tab. I put quite a bit in there. I'm trying to even do like some behind the scenes photos. I just tend to forget. So I'm trying to be better about social media and sharing. So, and then last thing I will say is, because I'm sure some of you are thinking it, Corey, why aren't you using Holbeins? Because it's Holbein month. I hate Holbeins. I'm sorry, I do. I have tried. I started off strong, y'all. You saw the pictures. You saw them. I shared them on social media and my channel. I was like, day 1, woohoo, day 2. And you might have noticed after day 5, there was no longer posts for my Holbeins. Well, that's because I have a portrait. It's the same portrait I shared like 2 weeks ago. I just cannot get myself to finish it because the Holbeins just don't bring me joy. I will power through and finish it this month, I think. Maybe. I'm not even going to promise. But yeah, I'm just really struggling. And if a medium just does not bring you joy, and like the idea of just looking at it and going to finish a page and you're like, oh, I don't want to, don't do it. Don't do it. Am I going to sell my Holbeins? No, because it's kind of a collector's item. And that's kind of why I keep that. I really want Holbein watercolors. I've seen those in action and they are gorgeous. I just don't like their pencils. And that is okay. But yeah, it's an epic flop for the Holbein month. In fact, you're going to notice a lot more coloring with my Prisma, because Prisma colors make me happy. Prismas are my happy place. I'm going to start doing a lot more tutorials with Prisma, a lot more color alongs with Prisma. You're going to see that popping up in the channel soon, because Prismas are what I love. And I know not all of you love Prismas, and that is okay. There's plenty of conversion charts out there so that you can follow along using a different pencil. But yeah, Prismas are my babies. I picked up Prismas the other day to use them. I was about to use them here, but then I went to use these. And and they're just the one that I am so excited to use. And that is the whole point of art. Use what you want to use and that makes you happy. So you're going to see a lot more Prisma popping up. And I'll still try and use my mediums for the alphabet coloring challenge, of course, but they might just pop up as like a little feature in an image while the rest is done in Prisma. And that's okay. So that's about it for channel and life news. This was a little longer, but I just had a few things I wanted to get out there. And I was going to combine this with the Share the Love tag, but unfortunately, I didn't have time to fit that all in there. So I still need to do that. I did not forget about it. I was actually tagged or mentioned by a few people, and I really do want to participate in that. So I'm going to try and get that. I'm also trying to get my Tuesday evening stream up and going. It's just I need my kids to pick what sports they're going to do so that I can plan my life again. So we will see. But yeah, we've almost gotten an hour in and colored just that. These are a oil-based, because as we all know, not pencils are both. It's a mixture. It's a whole chemical doodad thing going on in there, but predominantly oil pencils, but they are a soft core pencil. So keep that in mind. They are not hard. That said, they definitely do need the layering. I could probably make them smush. I can make quite a few different pencils smush just fine, but I am noticing they do well with layers. That said, I know they're supposed to be predominantly oil, but the sheen on them is almost more waxy. I don't know. Got to play around with them some more, but I'm kind of questioning that just a titch. But most of those ones coming out of China are usually predominantly oil. It's just popular out there. But I'm not seeing that usual oiliness that you get on the page, so I'm not sure. We'll see. But all right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me for this lovely WIP Wednesday. I hope you all have an amazing week. Thank you for coming to my live stream. I hope to see you on this Sunday's live stream. And until next time, take care. Bye now.